Welcome to Huddle Up, brought to you by the Fields Auto Group. Jaguars senior writer John Oehser, NFL Network analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks, and senior reporter J.P. Shadrick bring you the latest on your Jacksonville Jaguars. Huddle Up starts right now.
And welcome in. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks on this Wednesday as we head into week number 7 in the National Football League. J.P. Shadrick with John Oehser from the Grove, just outside of Watford, northwest of London. It's the team headquarters for this week ahead of the Patriots-Jaguars matchup at Wembley. Bucky Brooks joining us shortly from Los Angeles. And here's what's coming up. The stadium approved by NFL owners yesterday in Atlanta. We'll have our last look at the Jaguars-Bears game. Thank goodness. Get that thing out of here. The Patriots and the Jaguars coming up this week under the arch at Wembley. The Jaguars make a trade. Roy Robertson-Harris is gone. And London events this week continue as always. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. All right, so the biggest story of this week outside of football, certainly the NFL ownership officially voting in favor of the Jaguars Stadium agreement, 32-0, the final tally. And Roger Goodell told us pregame about his confidence in that process after the committees approved it. It certainly came through, John, with flying colors. We heard from Shad Khan and Mayor Donna Deegan and President Mark Lamping of the Jaguars yesterday after that vote came through. You were there at the Dorchester, and it seemed like almost giddiness from all three, and rightly so.
Yeah, and they knew that there was a good chance that, everybody thought it was going to be favorable. This is one of those things that they go through enough committees, they go through enough work, where they had an idea that it was going to pass. Awful lot of confidence there. There was a lot of joy and satisfaction that it got passed unanimously. It's a credit to the people who did the work, to the people who put the plan together, to the way that they structured this thing to be able to finance a project of this size in a small market. I think you're going to see in the next few years this become a model and going to help the league and other teams who need to get things financed. They're already getting calls along those lines. So a credit to Shad Khan, credit to Mark Lamping, credit to Donna Deegan. I think the big thing, JP, is how easy this seemed from the outside. There was very little drama, very little worry over it. It didn't have to be that way. It could have been a very difficult process. It could have been a very dramatic process. It didn't have to get done. This was not a given. And they got it done in such a way that I think fans and observers have this kind of seems like an afterthought. And it's kind of seemed like an afterthought all off season. That's credit to the people who got it involved, because this was not an afterthought. I was here in 2011, 2012 when you had no idea about the future of this franchise. To get this done and solidify the future of the franchise, I get that the team's not playing well, but this is the biggest story of the season, the fact that this franchise is here for the long term. It will be here long after I'm gone, which at this rate didn't feel like very far, JP.
You said it, not me. Bucky Brooks with us now from Los Angeles, and from your perspective, from a football perspective, having this done and the future secured for the long term in Jacksonville and what will be an iconic stadium is just a relief, really, I think, for everybody in charge. It has to be.
Yeah, more than a relief, it's a selling point. It's a selling point in terms of stability for the franchise. There's a lot of conversation about this team maybe moving to London and all this other stuff. Well, now you have something in place that allows you to present to not only free agents, but the draftees, hey, this is going to be your home for the next however long that they continue to play football. And so that makes it very, very easy. It also makes it easy to sell the overall package, right? So the overall package of Jacksonville is you come to North Florida, you're playing in a nice environment, a nice city, affordability when it comes to the home and the housing market. You have updated facilities for the practice facility. You're going to have a brand new stadium. There are a lot of things to offer, and we haven't got to this point, but we'll eventually get to this point. The good teams are able to keep their guys in city year round. Now you have everything to offer prospective free agents that will entice them to stay around 12 months out the year. That's better for your team chemistry and cohesion. So it's really a good thing for Jacksonville as you think about building the team going forward.
Yeah, I think strangely enough, JP, it in this day and age, it allows you to keep players and coaches and infrastructure in place. I don't know that it draws that many because free agency is so weird now in the sense you don't really talk to players. If you're trying to sign a free agent, there's no more tours. They're not coming in. Maybe they've played there once and get an idea. But it certainly allows you to keep guys. You bring in a draft pick and the facilities are first rate. There's no reason for them to go anywhere else. So, and JP, just one more thing. As somebody who covered the franchise in 95, everybody knows that I've lived here in Jacksonville since 73. Went through all this stuff with them not being able to get a team and then sort of relived it again when I came back to Jacksonville in 11. Oh, they're going to move somewhere. I can't tell how many media people who have argued with me over the years and saying, no, there's no way they'll keep that franchise. To have this get done and to not have to hear that anymore, I think I speak for a lot of fans who are watching it, who've been on the Twitter wars and talked about the franchise and being an NFL city. To be able to put that to bed, even though you're 1-5, I think there's a lot of people watching this who are relieved, ecstatic, proud, and they should be. The people who fought the La Confora war, hey, right. Hit me up in 2021. Well, we're hitting you up, pal. It's
right, yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Whoa, we got fired up, J.O. today. Yeah, J.O. fired up taking shots.
Let's go, Bucky.
Wow.
And you too, by the way. You with your little shirt.
Keeping receipts. Yeah. Wow.
If there's anybody that keeps receipts, it's John Oehser.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't.
Well, if they got to turn them in for expenses.
That's exactly what it is. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll rehash for the final time the Jaguars-Bears matchup last week. A little later, of course, we'll look ahead to the game under the arch at Wembley this week, the Jaguars and the Patriots. Are you Duval enough to become the Jaguars 2024 Fan of the Year and earn a trip to Super Bowl 59? Visit NFL.com/Fan of the Year and nominate someone today. We are off and running and underway. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Listen up. Just like football, timing is everything. Only water your lawn when necessary. And always check the weather before turning on those sprinklers.
Save water, save money, and score big. It's a win-win.
Whether you're on the field or at home, we're all on the same team. Florida's water. It's worth saving. This message brought to you by the St. Johns River Water Management District. Visit sjrwmd.com for more information.
The kick is up. It's good!
Score winning sub deals this Jaguar season at Firehouse Subs. Receive 50% off on any sub when the Jaguars kick a field goal of 40 yards or more. It's a bold deal for the bold city. Download the Firehouse Subs app for offer details. Redeemable only at participating Jacksonville and Orlando area restaurants. Only available in the Firehouse Subs app. Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
I think that's really one of the key purposes of the stadium, that how the venue is designed. I think it's going to be among the finest in the world. And, and that's what we expect from it, to be able to hold world-class events, contribute to the city, from prestige, but more importantly, from revenue, and really help the community grow. So this is, it's a public venue, and the key purpose is to serve the community. So, we have high expectations, the design, the function, all of that is to make it among the best in the world.
That's Jaguars owner Shad Khan, along with Mark Lamping and Mayor Donna Deegan of Jacksonville last night in a Zoom call with the media. It's available at Jaguars.com and Jaguars YouTube. Welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, J.P. Shadrick with John Ogier. We're outside London at the Grove Resort. We're in the library room where they have very many leather-bound books behind us.
Many
from
books.
The early 1800s even, some of these books in here. The Jaguars, of course, this week play at Wembley against the New England Patriots. But Bucky Brooks with us in L.A. We've got to go back, Bucky, and review last week's game against the Bears up at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And there are some, obviously, issues coming out of that game, to say the least, Bucky. And a lot of it came from the comments post-game from the head coach and Andre Sisco, most notably, who said that he saw a lot of quit out there on defense. The head coach with you on post-game radio was talking about culture issues. It's week 6, Bucky, and they're talking about these things. That's never a good sign, is it?
It's not a good sign, and I would say it's a deeper issue, and it's an issue that's existed for a while. If you go back to last year, some of the comments that players would share with me post-game on interviews about the culture and the environment and those things. Here's what I'll say overall. What you permit, you promote. And so if you allow things to happen, that's on you as the leader of the team, as the leader of the franchise. And it extends beyond the head coach. It goes all the way up the food chain. And if you want to change it, you can't allow it. And you can't try and change it midstream. You can't say, oh, all of a sudden now I'm going to tighten it up and I'm going to be a hard-nosed coach and those things. You have to head it off. You have to set hard and fast rules. You have to set lines and standards and expectations. And when players or people, coaches, anybody in the organization, when they don't meet those standards, you have to give them consequences. And the issue that you have when you talk about the culture is Coach Peterson can say that in a post-game interview. And simultaneously, Andre Sisco is talking about there was a whole lot of quit. So obviously, Coach Peterson knows that something is going on, and the players are telling you that something is going on. How you handle it this week determines how this team goes forward. But I don't know, it's a huge issue. And yeah, like players can get discouraged and not give the same effort or whatever. But when you talk about quitting and culture and those things are prominent in post-game commentary, it's a bigger issue than the X's and O's.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when you're talking about quit, I think Bucky, you and I have talked about it. I don't know that it's necessarily guys just not trying. And what I saw the other day, guys playing for themselves a little bit. And when I've talked to players in the past about quitting, that's usually what they emphasize is, they're still out there playing hard and trying to make plays, but they're not within the scheme of what's going on. And that's quitting just as much of a lack of effort, because if you're not on the same page in football, you can't play. So some of Andre's comments sort of veered that direction. Not playing as one was what he talked about after he said quit. There was a paragraph in the story I read. I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. They talked about not playing as one. Same thing to me. It's when they're just not believing or not playing to the direction of everybody. And that to me is as big of an issue. It's as worrisome an issue. I don't know how you get it back. That will be the storyline to me this week. Can they get it back? Are they all listening? Are they all pulling in the same direction? If you listen during the week, it's one thing, but when you're out there, when it's really going on, are you playing that way? Haven't done it for a while. Bucky, I don't know how you get that back once it's lost, but that's the task this week.
That is a task, but here's the thing. I think Cisco's comments and Doug Peterson's comments post game are very telling. And let's go beyond the culture issue and the quitting issue. Both guys said things that were very revealing. And talking to Doug talked about, look, man, the practices are good. The guys come to work every day. They work hard. They do exactly what is asked, but something is missing on game day. If you dig a little deeper and you listen fully to Andre Cisco's interview, he said that, hey, it's not about practice. It's not about the schedule. We work hard. We do all those things. But on game day, there's something missing. So both people are saying there is something that's not translating to Sundays. I don't know how you fix that as a coach, because as a coach, you set up the practice schedule, you do all the routine or whatever, but Sundays are for the players. The players are supposed to bring that on game day. You now have a player who's saying, hey, we aren't bringing it on game day. That's something amongst the players. So Doug can kick and scream and holler and all that, but at some point, and he said this, it's a player's game. The players have to bring it. So to me, Andre Cisco has revealed what is really important about fixing it. You got to fix the thing on game day. I don't know how you do it as a coach, but on game day, they're not performing like they're practicing, and that is a huge issue.
And it's kind of systemic, JP. It's been, as Bucky said, it feels like it started at the end of last season. Josh Allen said, or Josh Hines Allen, he was Josh Allen at the time, late last season, talked about, waiting for somebody to make a play. And, sometimes when players talk about this kind of thing, they're trying to get to a point and can't quite get there because they're trying to explain it. And everybody's in that same vein of trying to figure it out, right? I kind of go back. I think this team's got a lot of good players. I don't know that it has a lot of great players who take over games. And I think that's all sort of part of it, Bucky, of waiting for somebody to take over a game. Do they have enough guys who are, I hate the word alpha, but that's what you're getting at? Do they have enough guys who say, darn it, we got to do it now and take it over? I don't know if it's an unwillingness. Can they do it, Bucky? I don't know if those guys are here because they haven't shown us they're here for the last 12 games.
No, at the risk of being fully transparent on the podcast, I feel like we have to go there, and it's not being disrespectful to the organization when we make these comments. But I'm going to say this. One of the things that you're trying to balance when you're re-signing guys and building your team, and you're saying, okay, look, we want, because I've heard this directly from the owner. He talked about, hey, we want good guys who are good players, great character, and those things. And you do want that. However, you must have guys, you talk about alphas, we'll say dogs, right? Because that is the word that they use in sports. Competitive, tenacious, they have a level of toughness. They are really invested in the outcome of games, and they love it because they live it. And what we are seeing is, man, we got a bunch of great people, and I love the composition of the team in terms of the guys and how you interact and what they do and how they take care of things on and off the field. However, in a competitive sport where the results are determined between the lines, you have to have some dogs. You have to have some guys that they don't need the coach to get them going. That when it's Sunday and it's game day, they wake up ready to go. And they love it. They are intensely competitive. They want to win. And there's a bit of this, I'm going to do it. This is not going to happen over my dead body. We're going to make sure that this gets done. And I don't know if we have enough guys who have that, I'm going to take over the game. In a very competitive nature, I'm going to figure out how to do it within the confines of the team.
If they do have it, JP, they got to show it.
They better show it starting this week under the arch at Wembley. And we'll come back and look ahead to this matchup against the New England Patriots in London after a Jaguars loss, of course, to the Bears 35-16. Caleb Williams threw 4 touchdowns against the worst-ranked pass defense in the NFL for the Jaguars, and some pre-snap penalties. A lot of things went wrong on offense for this team as well. They'll try to get things right this week across town at Wembley. We're back with more in a moment. This is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
The 2024 season is Pawsome. Register your pet for the Four-Legged Fan Club, presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. Your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes, with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners, and the chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit jaguars.com/promotions/Four-Legged Fan Club to sign up. Looking for the perfect place to host a business trip, corporate group, or social gathering? Look no further than the award-winning Sheraton Jacksonville Hotel, proudly part of the Marriott family of hotels. Centrally located next to the St. John's Town Center off Gate Parkway in JTB, they offer everything you need, whether you're hosting a meeting or just unwinding with friends at the BC Grill and Patio. Discover comfort and convenience like never before. Search Sheraton Jacksonville or call 904-564-4772 today.
Calling all loyal Jags fans and loyal Gate customers, football is back. And you and 3 friends could win a chance to meet Trevor Lawrence. Entering is easy. Just buy any 5 28-ounce Gatorade or Gatorade Zero products at Gate with your MyGate Rewards app, and you'll be automatically entered. Not a MyGate Rewards member? Download the app and sign up today. See store for details. Alternate entry available at GatoradePromos.com/TLAW.
Welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, presented by the Fields Auto Group. J.P. Shadrick with John Osier. We're at the Grove Resort just outside of London, near the town of Watford. It's headquarters for the Jaguars since Friday, when the team arrived before Week 6 and the loss to the Bears at Tottenham Hotspur last week. And now practice starting today, Wednesday. Earlier on the practice grounds here, and throughout the rest of the week, the Jaguars will play at Wembley this Sunday against the New England Patriots. A battle of 1 and 5 teams, and we'll see if the Jaguars can get back on track this week. Bucky Brooks joining us from Los Angeles as always, and you know, it's a Jaguars team that's struggling to find their way. New England won their first game of the season. They've dropped 5 in a row. And now they've switched quarterbacks. Drake May, your guy, your North Carolina guy, is out there making the start again this week. His second week as the starter for the Patriots. And asking Doug Peterson about him earlier today out here, he had high praise and said he's going to continue to grow and has the big arm and everything that goes with that. So give us a little scouting report on Drake May and what he might have to offer for New England.
This is personal for me because Drake May's dad was at North Carolina right as I got there. His dad was an all-star athlete in North Carolina. And so the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree. This is a very talented young quarterback who has a lot of skills. He is someone who's not quite Josh Allen-like, but he patterns his game after Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills in terms of how he wants to be as a pro. Tremendous arm talent, great athleticism. That athleticism is part of a family trait where his brothers played college basketball, one's playing pro, one played college baseball down at University of Florida. So he has that. And even though he only entered the league with 26 collegiate starts, this is someone where his talent can make up for his inexperience. The Jaguars have to be ready to deal with someone who can challenge them not only as a thrower, but as a runner, and then try and find a way to make it a game where he has to hesitate and think due to the change in coverage, as opposed to being able to kind of wing it on his natural athleticism and ability.
Yeah, he had some success late last week. Look, the way the league usually works is you've now got some film on him. You would think you see some tendencies if you're the Jaguars, and you can usually make young rookie quarterbacks pay in their second, third, fourth start until they start figuring stuff out. The question I have is, can the Jaguars defense do that the way it's playing?
Yeah.
It should be able to. I think it can. They're getting Tyson Campbell back. I think if they get pressure from Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen, which has been happening, but frankly, you wonder if they can get the interior pressure and if the secondary can hold up, because it hasn't held up, Bucky.
Yeah, no, like, so here's the thing, and I think this is one when we talk about the defense and all that other stuff, because I think the defense isn't nearly as bad as it's been portrayed. I think some of that is by design in terms of the yards allowed. I think some of it is also a byproduct of playing a bunch of young players and backup players and those things. I think the emphasis for the defense this week against a young quarterback has to be less about preparing for the Patriots and more about getting back to the brand that the Jaguars want to put out there when it comes to the defense. Right now, it's about doing simple things to allow your guys to be successful. And when the Jaguars have been at their, I would say, at their best early in the season, simple, on it, playing hard, effort, toughness, the tackling was there. You got to get back to that. And so that might mean reducing some of the things that you normally would put into plan to allow your guys just to concentrate on playing. Let's line up. Let's play hard every snap. Let's make sure we bring the effort, the energy, the hustle, and more importantly, the physicality to the game. And whatever it looks like after that, cool. But let's just make sure that when we turn on the tape, everyone is running to the ball, the physicality is there, and let's build upon that. Because no matter what everyone on the outside says, at 1-5, the season is not over. It's a 70-game season. You're going to have to play all of it. And as Andre Cisco talked about, the league is built for everyone to be 8-9, 9-8. So the season will come back. But as a coach and staff and as players, you got to focus on one game at a time. Let's get back to playing the style that we want to play and see if we can start stacking wins by playing the right way.
Well, this to your point, John, a moment ago, this is a New England offensive line that has played 4 different left tackles this year. The starting center is done for the season with, I think, shoulder surgery. They've had a rotation of offensive line play throughout the year, so in theory, you should be able to take advantage of some of that. On the back end, it's not like they have superstar skill players on the outside, Bucky. They got 2 veteran tight ends who've played a lot of football. And so we'll see if the Jaguars defense can get right this week against a New England offense trying to steady itself. Now, on the other side of things, there's the Jaguars offense that didn't really perform that well last week, obviously. A bunch of pre-snap penalties, drops, 4 notably, obviously, it's all over X, the 4 dropped touchdown passes. Some of those were in the garbage time of the game. But as an offense, where do you stand right now, Bucky, and where do you continue to attack against the New England defense? What do they have to offer on defense?
One, they're pretty good on defense because they're very similar to how they were under Bill Belichick. They're staying really, really close to those roots. They're a defense that really does a good job of not beating themselves, meaning they're going to line up, they're going to play the assignment, they have really good adjustments, they're going to play hard, and they're going to make you have to make plays, meaning they're not going to give you anything cheap. They're a defense that can change their picture, change the way they go about it, like they used to do in the past. So what you may see in one week, they may be something completely different the next week. So they may be all man one week, zone the next week. So it's going to be a really solid defense. For the Jaguars, once again, it doesn't really matter who the opponent is. You're Doug Peterson, Press Taylor. When you stand in front of the offense, you got to talk about who we are, what we're about, and we're going to make sure that we put our best foot forward. We're going to reduce things. We want to play fast. We want everyone to know exactly what we're doing. And anytime you have the amount of mistakes that the Jaguars had, like the self-inflicted errors, to me, it means that there was too much on their mind. I want to simplify everything. I want them to play fast. I want their talent to show. So look for them to be super basic this week. I think it'll be a cookie cutter offensive plan, one that is very basic, like a preseason plan, and let's just see if you can win with your talent being superior to the opponent.
Yeah, I think the 2 plays we just showed here pretty much sum up what Bucky's talking about. Self-inflicted errors. They just showed the Gabe Davis drop on the first series, and then the Evan Ingram fumble.
Yes.
And then if you combine that with a defensive drive in the second half where you took away a Trayvon sack with 12 men on the field and then had 2 holds.
Yeah.
You can't play this in the NFL because you can do this in every game. But I'll play it anyway because we're on And
it's
what we're talking
ball.
about.
Yeah, that's what it is.
4 points on the Gabe Davis touchdown. 7 points given away. At that point, if those things go the other way, you're a tie game. Get out of your own way. And you're asking me what the offense can do to do better. Catch the ball. JP, back to you.
Yeah, that's great analysis, John. It really is.
I mean, but it comes down to as simple as that. I was asked on a radio show today, what do you do about drop passes? I don't know, catch the ball.
Catch it.
And I don't know how to coach that, Bucky. I don't know what that means. How do you work on it, get on the jugs machine, whatever? You're professional football players. It goes back to the very top. Make the play when it's there. I don't know how to coach it. I don't think you can coach it. I think at some point when you're playing this game and you're a big-time player, you got to make plays like that and give yourself a chance to win. If you don't, you're not going to win, Bucky. And that's, great analysis, John. But guess what, Bucky? That's the best I got.
No, that is the best you got. And speaking of the drop balls, look, this came from a tweet. Mike DeRocco put this out there. Jaguars have dropped 113 passes since 2021, since Trevor's rookie season. Most in the league, 21 more than the second-place team, Kansas City. That right there is telling in terms of the amount of drop passes that we've seen from this crew of pass catchers. And it can't necessarily be fixed in season, but if you talk to some people, they would say that if you want guys that can catch balls, you need to draft guys that catch balls consistently. It's hard to teach someone how to catch in the pros. Either you can or you can't. What you hope is that they consistently work on it pre-practice, post-practice, and they're able to concentrate and focus in game when the ball comes their way. That is something that they have to continue to work on. And as professionals, you put the expectation, hey, you need to work on it before practice, after practice, pre-game. All those things have to be important. But more importantly, this is an execution issue. We are not executing at a level that we need to perform well. It's inconsistent when it comes to the execution. And once again, when you have execution problems, it is a sign that you might be trying to do too much. The Jaguars have to simplify everything, go back to like it's a little league football team, put a few concepts in and do it over and over and over again. And ironically, that's what happened against the Indianapolis Colts, and the team played really well. They need to go back to playing like that because that has been the best that we've seen from this offense this year.
I just shake my head when you say treat it like a little league football team, Bucky. It's the NFL, man.
Hey, man, it is, but they're just big little leaguers. They just get money. And so what you want to do is treat them as they are and help them get to where you want them to be. And if they show you right now, because pre-snap penalties, drop passes, things that are very little league-like, then what you do is you treat them like little leaguers until they prove otherwise. And right now, a team that is sitting at 1-5, you have to build confidence by showing them that they can execute things really well. And the only way you can do it is you got to scale it down and really go back to basics. And look, it's frustrating because I feel like we've said this throughout the season, 6 weeks, like, hey, got to go back to the basics, the fundamentals, simplicity, yada, yada, yada. But that's what it is. And it won't change until they master the little things.
I used to get a snow cone when I played Little League.
Hey, yeah, we used to go to Pizza Hut.
Hey, look, man.
I
wouldn't put it past you. When we talk about a cultural issue, I wouldn't put it past Coach Peterson putting a little cooler with popsicles and ice cream sandwiches and little things for them to grab on the way off the field. Because right now, look, we're teetering on the brink of everything falling apart. So maybe you have to reward them with a good practice day. Hey, popsicles, ice cream for everybody. Like, you got to change the energy in the building, and that might be one way to do it. Popsicles and little things for everybody, little treats for everybody.
Well, I know one person who won't get to enjoy that, Roy Robertson Harris. We'll get to the trade when we come back. He is out of here, and we're almost out of here as well. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Chelsea here. Another month and another high utility bill. Those old windows and doors might be the culprit, letting valuable energy escape. At Renewal by Andersen, our energy-efficient windows and doors have the latest advanced technology, keeping your home comfortable all year round. Renewal by Andersen has a limited-time offer. Buy 4 windows and/or patio doors and get the 5th one free. Plus, enjoy 0 money down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Some restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for all the details. License number CGC 1527613.
At Publix, you can tackle everything from pregame prep to postgame cleanup with prices that are never out of bounds. This week at Publix, save $10 with a digital coupon when you spend $40 on select P&G products. Tackle everything from pregame prep with brands like Crest, Head & Shoulders, and Old Spice to postgame cleanup with brands like Bounty, Dawn, Tide, and Febreze. Clip your digital coupon now. Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. J.P. Shadrick with John Osier and the library at the Grove. We're outside of London. It's team headquarters this week as the Jaguars prepare to face the New England Patriots under the arch at Wembley this Sunday. It's a 9:30 a.m. kickoff Eastern time, 2:30 here in London. Bucky Brooks with us in Los Angeles. Trade alert! Roy Robertson Harris is gone. He's out of here. Late round draft pick coming back from Seattle, Bucky. How about this move to get out of the contract of Roy Robertson Harris and move forward?
I would say this without being in the locker room, whatever. It seems maybe like a bit of a coincidence that you have all the issues that come out on Sunday post-game, and then all of a sudden Monday, Tuesday, you have a trade getting rid of people. Like normally when you're in these moments and you don't feel like the team is trending the right way, you not only unload contracts, you unload people who are unbecoming of how you want things to go down. And that's not saying that Roy Robertson Harris was an issue, but obviously there was something that the team felt like they were better moving on. Because when you think about what's coming back isn't even coming back next year. It's coming back 2 years from now. So read between the lines. It is what it is, but they felt like the locker room and the team would be better without him on the squad. And I think you might see more of those if there are problems with the team that you will try and remove. Because before you can be a good team and before you can be a great team, you got to make sure that everyone on the team is committed to pulling the boat the right direction. And so I think you may see other things if there are people that they don't feel like are good fits for the team and how the team wants to be constructed going forward.
Yeah, I don't know that I got a vibe that Roy was a problem on that front. But I think it was, to me, more that, he was probably closer to a role player than an impact player, frankly, since the end of the 22 season. And they saw an opportunity to get out of the contract. So I guess I just make that point because I don't know that Roy was a problem on that front, JP. I didn't sense that, but I think it was probably just, hey, we've got a lot of players at defensive tackle.
Yeah, that's what Doug said.
Who, frankly, the whole group has just been okay at best. So if you got a chance to have a bunch of okay guys and trade one guy who's sort of part of a group, then you go ahead and do that. But so just my 2 cents.
There you have it. So he's out of here, and now the Jaguars move forward to Wembley to face the New England Patriots this week. A battle of 1-5 football teams, 2:30 kickoff here in London, 9:30 a.m. back in Jacksonville. The Jaguars now 6-6 in London all time after this past Sunday's game, 4-5 all time at Wembley. There are events the next few days off the field. Some Jaguars players involved, some not, business luncheons, all these things going on around the game, but it all builds up, Bucky, to Sunday at Wembley. What's your gut quickly on the game?
I think they'll bounce back. I think it's a resilient group in terms of like they'll show up and be professionals. Normally when a team is embarrassed like that, you get a much better performance the next week. I would expect to see the team play better on Sunday. I think, I think they understand what they're up against. And when you have pride, which I think every member of this team has, you show up, and I expect them to show up and show out and put a much better product on display when we're in Wembley.
Yeah, I think very quick. I think they came out strong against the Bears. I think then in the second half against the Bears, they played a team that was better than they were. Yeah. I think they'll come out strong against New England, and they'll be playing a team that's probably not better than they are. So I think they'll won't face as much adversity in this game because, look, on paper, the Patriots are building. The Jaguars are built for now, even though they haven't played like it. So I don't doubt that they will come out playing well, and I think they'll get more benefit from having played well early, and it'll be a different game on that front. But will that translate into them being a lot better for the entire season? I can't sit here and say that yet. I got to see that.
We'll find out this week. 9:30 Eastern kickoff. Bucky, we'll talk to you. You're coming back, right? Are you coming back?
I'm back on it. Back on the bird. Coming right back.
International Bucky.
I can't imagine the sky miles you have by now. I mean it's nice. You are racking them up.
Racking them up. Killing them.
In the front of the plane every single time. That's Bucky Brooks. First class Bucky. This is John Osier and J.P. Shadrick. We're back in coach as usual. Thanks to our entire crew on both sides of the pond as always. We'll catch you next time on Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.